All right, here we go. I'm going to surprise you. Ready? 1, 2, 3, boom. Look at that, you guys. Oh my gosh, it's so much fun. Indeed, it's the biggest and boldest bracelet that Jay has ever created for us. And I was so happy to finally get to reveal the price to you. This is truly incredible. We're at $165.97. Now, if you just go to hsn.com and click bracelets, you can do a big search down of all the bracelets Jay has. You'll see bracelets that are smaller than this, that are anywhere from $195. I found several that were in the $230 range. We rarely do anything quite like this, and it's a very unique story at how good this value is. But let me show you the options. We're gonna show you all the extra goodies, and then Jay's gonna kind of dive in and take us through this. So let's start on this end. This is going to be your incredible turquoise bracelet. It is breathtaking, it's gorgeous, it's got that beautiful golden color matrix that's so unique and so rich looking. Now look right beside it. This is so cool. It is the first time ever that Jay has used our Charoite stone, that amazing purple. And when you see these up close, look at that stunning artwork from Mother Nature. First time ever that he's used Charoite, and this is a vintage stone. Again, he'll tell you more in just a moment. Now let's go right here. What could that be? Looks like tiger's eye, right? It's actually a unique jasper, the Desert Sunset. Gorgeous. And then finally, one of the all-time favorites is going to be your lapis, and we're talking about top grade lapis. Also, please, please appreciate how much sterling silver he has used to create this masterpiece, because it's a ton of sterling. Not only all the way around the bezel, all the way around the back of the stone, but look at this beautiful lattice work in the design, and look at how thick the bracelet is. That's incredible, and there's a significant reason why I want to point out the boldness of silver, because Jay will share that unique story with you in just a second. So here's your opportunity. Now, in terms of sizing, the great news about what Jay does is basically this can fit everybody. And I'll have him explain why that as well, but I love it. Officially, we're talking 6 to 7 inches, but trust me, if you're careful and you're gonna pull it out a bit, you certainly can work with it to make sure it custom fits your wrist, or if you're giving it as a gift idea. Now, if you want some other treats to go with it, we'll do these more in depth, but I will warn you, we always bring in a lot less of the matching pieces than we do the main feature, okay? So let me show you what we have. Gorgeous ring, same exact design. I even love it that they've imprinted that beautiful trellis look on the sides. We have the ring available 5 through 12. We have earrings available. Now we have a really big stud, or we also have a dangle if you're interested, but I just had him put the studs out here. Those are available to go back to it. Then finally, I'm wearing this as well. We have the most amazing necklace and pendant combination. So we have the necklace that you can pick up by itself, or you can get this big bold pendant. Isn't that stunning right there in the jasper? The pendant is 2 inches, it's huge, and the necklace is available. So that kind of shows you the extra pieces. So we gotta bring Jay in, because he indeed is the star of our 3 hours tonight. And Jay, I love it. I have just never seen you ever do a bracelet as bold as this is.
Well, you know, and I always say, I always feel kind of bad, because I always say, when we have a Today Special, I say, and I don't say it with every Today Special, but a lot of them I say, this is the most amazing thing we've ever done, right? And so when I say that, it kind of takes away from it, but this really is one of the most amazing TSs we've ever done. And this is really unique in the fact that, well, number one, this is my design. So if you don't love it, don't tell me that, because you break my heart. All right.
You will crush Jay. Do not tell him.
But if you look at really what goes into these materials, and into these designs, right? Cuff bracelets, number one, are kind of one of the things that we feature, that we're known for, and the art of it. And I drew this up. I envisioned this cuff bracelet. I wanted something big and bold and huge for today's special. Now you have to understand, this started, I did this over 8 months ago. Over 8 months ago is when this started, is when we were doing. In fact, I designed this in November of 2019. as 2019 is when I did this design. It's actually, and the reason I know that is I was looking at one of the my design sheets the other day, and it was dated when I actually designed it. And when I designed it, you had the vision of it. What I wanted to do is I wanted to be able to give our viewing audience, I wanted to give them a big, bold, silver look. I love big, I love bold. But here again, you know, when you're working with sterling silver, where you're working with precious materials, the bigger you make it, right? You also increase the price. And so I figured out, now these are all hand done. This is all handcrafted. It's all done from sheet material. You're seeing this for the very first time. This is the very first time that we have done this, what we call expanded metal. It's an expanded metal look in this size. Right. I want everybody to know this too. Okay, we did it in these 4 materials, and I'll talk about the materials in a minute. But Suzanne and I were talking about this before. Now you have to realize we work way out. And I'm not just saying that so that it's a selling point that, you know, how, oh God, you know, Jay has to work so far out and everything. It's a reality, okay? Right. It's a reality. We're already working, do you know, we're already building shows for 2021 right now. Oh my gosh. We're done with this year. We're already building shows. We're building things for next year. That's how far out we have to work. In this case, same thing, no different. When we design this for the Today Special, we have the materials just the natural materials to worry about, but also so everybody just gets this and they understand it. We also bought the silver sheet at that time. Right. Right? Everybody knows what silver's done recently, correct? Yes. Do you know, I can't even imagine what this bracelet would be on today's silver market spot. Do you know what's really crazy? We built this 8 months ago. That's when we started. That's when we bought the silver. When I say built, we have to buy the raw materials, right? Right. Before we start building the design. These are all individually hand done. This isn't some cookie cutter operation. These are all done by silversmiths and by trained lapidarists, right from the raw materials. Every one of them is an individual piece of wearable art. They're all made from scratch. This is nothing that is purchased or bought, or it's no cookie cutter like assembly line type thing. These are all done by individual artists, that all from scratch. Just the silver alone. What's really so crazy on this, if I could go back, I could weigh this, I could figure it out, but I know with what silver's done I've been pricing things recently. I'm like, you know, I kind of get the wobbles, right? I mean, the silver market's just gone crazy. Right. But do you know what's so cool and much to, I have to tell you, much to HSN's merit, they didn't take this and mark it up to today's market, right? If you go to a jewelry store, okay, and let's say that 2 months ago, you saw a pendant and it was $10, right? Because what they have to do is, if they're going to replenish that, they're going to have to buy the silver at that rate. So they give you what they call market rate. Right now, the market rate, okay, that $10 item is no longer $10, right? And the same thing with this. This would be through the roof. You know, there's no way you can even touch it for $165. You couldn't even come close. You could not touch it for $165 just in the silver. Now, and you know I'm all about the stone, right? I'm about the size. I'm about the design. I'm about the materials. These were just not willy-nilly, okay? These were all hand-selected. So I don't know where you want to start. Let's start.
Well, here's what I would do. Hang on one second, Jay. Jay, hold on, because I love your enthusiasm, as always. But I got to give you an update on Charoite. Okay, so right as we were going to go to this, I said to my producer, Kevin, I said, this is the sleeper of the choices. Because Jay does great turquoise. We understand the lapis. The Charoite is blowing out, you guys. I'm just going to I'm going to show you everything. I'm going to show you the Charoite ring, and I'm going to show you the necklace to go with it. And of course, we have the matching earrings. So here's the ring. Fabulous, right? By the way, this is 28 by 28 millimeters of a solid stone. Amazing. Now look at the Charoite in the pendant and necklace. So if you are a purple girl, the Charoite, you should be all over this. And again, all of this is available right now. And I just want to give you a little heads up about midnight, especially if you're brand new. I love midnight. I love launching with Jay. I would much rather launch with Jay than have to close. And here's why. I got everything. Now, typically I've come in many times and Jay and I'll be together and, you know, it's the end of the day and I'm like, okay, I got one color in one piece and that's it because everything is sold out. At this rate, I think we've sold 400 or some, yeah, we've almost hit 400 in just the first couple of minutes. This is one of those times at a price that is absolutely phenomenal. 4 flex pays on top of that. You pay it off in 4 months. You get it right away. Something that you will love. It becomes truly an heirloom piece and really that wow bracelet in your collection. But if you want the Charoite specifically, do not wait later than tonight. In fact, we didn't bring in as many Charoite as we did, for example, the turquoise with the golden color matrix, which is gorgeous. That's the one I chose to wear. But we do not have as many of these as we do here, and this is by far outselling the other 3 colors. So Jay, before you want to get into this stone story, I just wanted to give you a heads up. And I do want to start with Charoite, Jay, because I think it is a very interesting story about this stone. It's kind of got a very unique history, doesn't it?
It has a very unique history in the fact that, as far as I know, as far as I'm aware, we actually were the first ones that ever brought this material years ago to the market, right? Right here on HSN, we released it. It was a mine find.
Right.
It was something that we did. Yes. And I don't know if you remember back in the day, but it's been a while. Like, I'm talking 15 years ago is when we launched this.
Wow.
And we launched Charoite. We had about a 2-year run on it. We could not keep it. I mean, every time we had it, it would sell out literally in minutes. And then you didn't see it. Well, the reason is we ran out of the material. I mean, the good material. This is all grade A, triple A, double A Charoite rough. This only comes from one mine, one deposit in the Ural Mountains of Russia. It's at what they call the top of the world. And you were correct on the Charoite. Okay, this material was probably mined at least 20 years ago in the 80s. You know, at least 20 years ago.
Right.
Maybe like 18 years ago or something. But it's not even available. Now, can you get Charoite? Yes. Can you get this grade of Charoite? Absolutely not. That's why you didn't see it for us for like what, years, right?
Right.
I mean, you didn't see any Charoite. Now, that being said, when this is gone, you're not going to see Charoite. We were fortunate in the fact that about 4 years ago, I was in Tucson, and all of a sudden, actually, I believe Kenna and Stacy are the ones that came and got me and said, look, you got to meet this guy, right? And it's really funny because there's 3 partners. They're all Russian physicists. And these are fairly young guys, right? But they're physicists. They're Russian physicists.
Wow.
That's what I mean, these guys are well educated. They're actually, they're physicists. They're not miners, right?
Right.
And they have this Charoite. And so, you know, they only had a small amount with them, this triple A grade, double A grade material. And we said, you know, where did you get this? One of the guys said, oh, it's my uncle. He was a miner. This is from his private collection. So that's where this comes from. It's one of the original miners of the Charoite that we used to buy rough from, long time ago, right? He was one of the original founders, but they're not mining this anymore. This quality is just virtually impossible to get. And we bought everything that they had. Last year, not this year, but last year, we did the largest purchase that they've ever done in Charoite. And now you're starting to see the benefits of that. You're seeing this. I'm really it kind of, in a way kind of makes me, tearful in the fact that people realize that's why I did the Charoite, how rare this is. It's like vintage, like you said. It's like vintage, it's antique.
So
it's something
cool.
you just don't see.
No.
And you don't see it in this.
And Jay, you know, I mentioned this very early on. That's the exciting thing about watching any of Jay's shows. I mean, where have you ever seen Charoite? Really? Maybe it's the first time you've even heard of it. And how, that's the real stone. I mean, that's the color of Charoite. It's beautiful. And you can see literally, I think, through the television set. When you get it in person, it's even more powerful. But through the TV, you really can tell that is a unique stone. And if you're interested in the Charoite, I'm gonna give you the latest update. Of all 4 colors, that's by far outselling the other 3. Now, here's an important point. I'm down to, now remember, we have a 23-hour and 45-minute window to go. And already we have less than 1,000 of the Charoite bracelets left. We've sold almost 500 of just the Charoite by itself. So if you're thinking about that one, it's by far outselling the other 3 colors. And the problem is, you know what's really interesting? There'll be people tuning in for Jay for the rest of the day. He's got several shows coming up. They'll have no idea this was even available, because chances are it could very well sell out before we get done with next hour. So again, if you're interested, it's unique, it's unusual, it's fun, it's purple, which happens to be my favorite color, but that's not the reason Jay did it, and it's vintage. 1980s, last time the mine was ever operating. And here Jay was able, as he always does, discover these really cool dusty places that happen to have some. He buys them all up, and then he's created a masterpiece. And this is large. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my ruler, because you need to see the size of this stone. This is so impressive. If you look at this, we are 28 millimeters, okay, 28 by 28. That, look at that. That is a hefty over an inch, right? That's a hair bit over an inch of genuine gemstone. And then look at from the side view. I love the bezel set of the sterling silver. Look at how much silver he used in just the bracelet. A lot of times when you do lattice work, it's to save money on silver, but then it weakens the bracelet itself. This bracelet is sturdy, guys. I mean, it's definitely, you can make it a little bigger if you need to, you can squeeze it in, but you can see by me holding it, it's super sturdy. So you've got the open lattice work, which I find very comfortable to wear because it lets a little air in, and it's just a really beautiful look. Everything about this is just yummy and rather sexy in a way. And it's just such a sensational piece. Now we've got 3 more stones to go, Jay, and I do not want to miss giving time to the other 3, but let me give you some timing, Jay. We have about 6 minutes to go, and you've got 3 more stones to cover. So can we talk briefly about the turquoise, and then we'll do the jasper, because that's a cool story, and we'll also do the lapis.
So that means quit talking so much, Jay, and get to the point. Okay, so thank you, Suzanne.
Kind of, sort of.
I know Suzanne very well. Okay, so let's start with the turquoise. Can we go with the turquoise?
Yes, sir. Let's do turquoise.
To show it. Okay, I actually have these on my set too.
Brilliant.
Okay, so this is, okay, so this here's what makes the turquoise so unique, because I'm limited on time, Suzanne has told me. Okay, this is Chilean gold matrix. I don't know if anybody else that has this material. I don't have an exclusive on the mine, but we get all of this grade of material that comes out. This is all natural. Look at the size of it. What makes it so unique is the gold matrix running throughout the material. Now, this is where we've taken these nuggets. You can see, look, these are out of my specimen case, guys. These are specimens out of my specimen case. This is not a big material. It doesn't come in big sizes. So you can't cut a huge cabochon like this. It's impossible. So what we've done is we've taken these nuggets, and we've compressed the nuggets together, and then it's still, this is the natural matrix. We didn't make that. That's the matrix that's in the turquoise. It's just taking the nuggets, put it together, and that's why we're able to do this huge piece. And this is absolutely huge. Okay, so. Okay. That's the turquoise.
So that's the turquoise. Now let's do the jasper, because it looks like tiger's eye.
You know, it's really funny. And Lou, you know, my producer here, Lou, I got to tell you, he could be a jewelry salesman. He's really, I don't know if I'm rubbing off on him or if he actually knows this stuff, right?
No, you know what? Wait, Lou was a host.
Oh, well, you know, like I didn't know, you know, he's really knowledgeable, you know, like as far as, but he actually knew. He says, you know, that looks like a lot of like tiger's eye.
Right.
And yes, it is actually. I know we're saying jasper, and it is a jasper. That's what tiger's eye is. But this is Desert Sunset. Most of all the tiger's eye that you see from me all comes from Namibia, right? So it's all from Namibia. That's my source when we get this. This material actually comes out of Australia. It's extremely, I don't know of anybody else that has it. I don't have an exclusive as far as I bought all the material that they harvested. I bought everything. This comes out of the Kennedy Range in Australia. They mined it. I made a deal. I was in Australia. I made a deal and I bought all the material. What's interesting, the reason that the name that he gave this is Desert Sunset. If you've ever been in the outback at night when the sun is going down, you would know why that's named Desert Sunset. That's all I can tell you. And here again, you can see it has the property of chatoyancy. Do you see that? And the chatoyancy is where you have crystals growing inside there. Do you see that how it sparkles and gleams?
That's so cool.
Mother Nature at her finest. Okay, and
Lapis.
then this, which everybody knows, I'm not going to beat a dead horse or anything like that, but this is the lapis. If you look at the grade of this lapis, guys, okay, I mean, this is what I wish I can get. This is the rough material. Look at the color of this. Look at the clarity of this lapis. This is all AA. Some of this right here, like this that's in this is AAA grade lapis. It's either A, AA, or AAA grade lapis. This is from my private stash that I've been putting away for 20 odd years. Now, some of this might be 3 years old, some of it might be 5 years old, some of it might be 20 years old. What I do is when I bring in any material, not just lapis, but turquoise, anything, what we do is, the first thing we do is we grade by size. Then we grade by size, we grade by color, and then we grade by quality. So this is all A grade, AA, AAA. This was all the stuff that we had kept back. We always, that we do use it in our designs, but it is the finest of the finest. And this is the material that you're just not going to see. I'm going to be doing lapis in 2021. I'll have some jewelry. I'll have some cabochons. I'll have very, very few necklaces. I mean, very few. So very few that there'll be a lot of times, a lot of shows, entire shows, that you don't see a single lapis necklace from me. You might have a lapis cuff or a pendant or a ring, but you're just not going to see the bulk. So I'm telling you, for the people that are on the Charoite, that's an incredible material.
So cool.
Same thing with this. They're not mining anymore. When I'm done, which we used we used a lot of it, the majority, the lion's share of what we had in stock in doing not only not the cuff as much as doing the necklace. When you see the necklace and pendant, when you see the Charoite necklace that we did, the turquoise necklace, look at the size of those beads. They're literally, in the Charoite, it's the largest Charoite piece we've ever done.
Okay, Jade, let me give a quick update. Speaking of the Charoite, all right, we are down to the final 700. Now, Jay and I are going to take another look at this coming up next hour. The odds of Charoite in any form of it available up here are pretty much I don't know, slim to none, having this to the end of the day. It will not be here at the end of the day. It very well could sell out next hour. So if you love the purple and you love this unique Charoite, again, this is vintage gemstone. It's not even currently mined. So I love it when Jay finds these dusty places and is able to come up with some crazy gemstones. So if you want any of the Charoite collection, certainly you might want to think about ordering it now before you go sleeps, because it's not going to make it for the rest of the day. It will not. In fact, it very well could sell out next hour. So a little heads up on that. All right, now we're going to show you all the matching pieces because this is quite a big collection and it's beautiful. Now, if you want the drop earrings, let me grab those real